Hi guys, Alistair Taylor here, and today we're going to talk about the 3 keys to spinning your wedge shots more. And we're going to focus particularly on pitch shots, because I'm a big believer that when you're hitting those full shots, most guys generate a decent amount of spin anyway, and one of the elements or a couple of the elements that we're working on probably let them down. So let's clarify one thing as well. I see lots and lots of golfers, and you might fall into this category, who tell me that they don't create any backspin on the ball. If you're hitting the ball and it's going in the air, the ball has got backspin on it. If it's not stopping quickly when it hits the ground, there's not enough backspin on there. So this video is going to be massively helpful for you if you're one of those guys who feels that they don't create any backspin. The good news is you do, so you're probably already better than you think, but we're going to show you how to create even more backspin. So the first key element, as far as I'm concerned, in creating more backspin is to use a premium wedge. So for this test today, I'm going to use my Nike Engage 56 degree. So get the club face nice and clean and get the grooves clean. The grooves are going to clean the ball, and the face is going to create the friction with the golf ball. You then also need to be playing these shots, and I'm going to play kind of a 60-yard shot with the correct amount of loft. Now obviously over the last few years, launch monitors have become a big part of coaching and club fitting, and it's been kind of proven at tour level that round about kind of 54 to 56 degrees is the loft that creates the ideal amount of spin. Less loft is more compression on the golf ball, more loft than that, the club kind of slides underneath the ball. So first thing, premium wedge, correct loft, and make sure that the club is nice and clean. Second piece of kit is golf ball. Now, most guys don't play the kind of quality ball that's going to enable them to get spin on these shots. You need to be playing, if possible, a premium ball that's soft enough so that when the face of the wedge strikes the ball, that the friction between the soft cover and the face, the ball grips, and that creates that backspin on the ball. Also, a little bit out of your hands, got to make sure that the golf ball's nice and clean and dry. Obviously on the golf course that's not always that easy. For me here today, very simple, driving range mat, so I'm not going to have any grass in the way, and the balls are nice and dry. I'm going to hit 2 shots however, one with a firmer ball. So I'm going to use the Titleist Velocity golf ball. Really good ball, but a little bit firmer, less spin. And I'm also going to use the ball I currently play, which is the Nike Resin Tour Platinum ball. So a much more premium ball. And the sticking point for a lot of guys isn't they don't want to play premium ball based on how it performs. The actual issue for most guys is premium balls are more expensive. If you're losing lots and lots of golf balls, that's a problem. If you're not, hopefully this test today is going to show why you should be using, if not a top end ball, go more premium than you currently are. So the first 2 keys are correct equipment really. Correct club for key 1, correct golf ball for key 2. So the third key to spinning those wedges is good technique. So for a pitch shot, we want the club travelling fairly shallow through impact, so just bruising the turf with a little bit of shaft lean, which is going to get the correct dynamic loft of the golf club at impact. We want to hit the ball obviously out the middle of the club face if we can, but we also need a little bit of speed, and the more speed you've got on that shot, the more friction's there, therefore the ball's going to spin more. The mistake I see with a lot of guys is the pitching technique's quite slow, so there's no real club head speed, so they struggle to generate enough spin. Certainly one of my issues with pitching is I don't necessarily think I'm quick enough. I'm very consistent, so I know how my ball reacts, but I know if I wanted it to spin more, I'd need a little bit more speed through there. Now, the technique as well, I'm talking about using 56. Some guys will talk about using 60 and feel that they really hit down on the ball a little bit more. Basically what they're doing is turning the 60 into more of this loft. My little issue is I think you can generate great spin from doing that, but I think you have to be a much more accurate striker of the ball when you're becoming a lot steeper into the shot. And that shallower angle of attack that we're looking for, I think makes it much easier to be consistent with your pitching. So now I've got the correct club. We're going to use different golf ball on each, see how it performs on SkyTrack. So closed data, so exactly what the golf ball's doing, not affected by any of the weather out there. And hopefully my technique will be good. This swing for me generally would pitch around 60 yards. So first shot, Titleist velocity golf ball. Okay, so like we saw with the ball flight there, quite a high flight and released a bit, but very, very low spin, just over 2,000 revs per minute. Little challenge is there's a chance that's going to stop based on angle of attack because of the height of the shot. It's coming in quite steep. But if I could get my kind of driver around 2,200, 2,300 spin all the time, that'd be great. Not necessarily what I'm personally looking for on a pitch shot. And from what I gather, not what you guys are looking for. So we're going to play the same shot with the premium ball. We're going to see how it flies differently and does it spin differently off the face. So exactly the same technique, but with my Nike Resin Tour Platinum golf ball. So guys, very noticeable with the ball flight there. Kind of launched a lot lower and a much flatter trajectory and spin, wow, I mean over 8,000 revs per minute. That's a lot of spin, probably a bit more than I would normally get, to be fair. So I could argue maybe it was just a touch low on the club face, but a massive change with how the ball's going to fly. I landed a couple of yards short of where I would normally be, but you can certainly see even coming in flatter, when it's spinning 4 times the amount, that golf ball is going to stop a lot quicker. Therefore my total distance is going to be very much around where I land the ball. I can land it probably one good jump forward and check. So guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you want to spin your wedges more, and I don't think I ever see anyone who wants to spin their wedges less, I'll make that very clear, need to make sure premium wedge if you can. You know, these wedges are really manufactured to get the best performance. Doesn't need to be this particular one. All the manufacturers make premium wedges. Make sure it's the right loft. If you can, you might go for a ball fitting. Ball fittings aren't just about which works best with driver. I think you'll see a lot of the balls will perform very similar with driver. When you get inside 100 yards, that's where you see a massive difference with the golf ball. Then, once you've got those first 2 key elements correct, it's about technique. So like I said, me personally, I don't want to see big divots. I want to see the club just bruising the turf. Hopefully a nice centered strike. It's not the biggest swing and it's a short club. Should strike it okay. But also that little bit of acceleration, that bit of speed to maximize that spin. So guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. Leave any comments below if you have. I'll try and get back to you. Like and share it. If you don't already, please subscribe to the channel. Do appreciate you taking the time to watch. As always, hopefully catch up with some of you guys in the future. Stay in contact.